Autism Town Hall Meeting, 2003, Indianapolis, Indiana, by Rich Shull. When was autism was first getting really big and growing by leaps and bounds? America's Center for Disease Control held a series of open to the public town hall meetings on autism. There was a series of these meetings held in all parts of the United States. I attended the one in Indianapolis, Indiana. I had 2 speakers' slips. Everyone in attendance was able to talk. The entire proceeding was videotaped, transcribed, and even my notes were entered into the public record after the event was over. All the big names in autism were there, including the late Dr. Rimland, Tony Atwood, Dr. Kathy Pratt of Indiana University, and the Autism Society of America. My testimony was stunning and dreadful news to the assembled people there. They were not expecting to hear from old autism. By the time I described Picketer thoughts that built on Temple Grandin's work, described our pain tolerance, the whole audience was stunned. During an intermission, a cameraman walked past me and said, "Good job." He was only one in the room, delighted with my words. I was told after the event Dr. Rimland was in the hall using a few choice words in regard to my performance. A year later, I tried via the Freedom of Information Act to get copies of my testimony from the CDC. All I got in return was an unsigned note saying, "You have been banished from the record." One can only guess, with all the firepower there, my words and thoughts were not welcome. One can also guess the big players in autism had enough pull to banish me from the record. And it seems they did. Years before, upon release of my book Autism Pre-Rain Man Autism, the day it was released, it was slammed with horrible bad press. Only Dr. Rimland's Autism Research Institute knew of its release date. At one time he was considering publishing my work. When I refused to water down my good autism experience to the new lower autism ideal expected, by removing chapters on social skills, driving in Picketer thoughts, among other things, I was dropped. This old autism was not the news. New autism post-Rain Man needed to be reminded of. I was soon chased all over the web with email and instant messages from Woofter 1 and America Online screen name, and Woofter was threatening to turn me into the king of child porn with a click of the mouse. Woofter was traced to California and Washington State. Funny that those were where the late Dr. Rimland lived. Go figure. Autism indeed has a past, and if it is purposely not forgotten, and even figured back into autism practice, it will go miles in explaining the old and new autism. Too bad it inflates the post-Rain Man empire of autism, because it is the next 1,000 chapters in psychology when all figured out.